However, I managed to mess this up for 5 minutes if it wasn't even going to be a full video for 5. But this is Class of Insightful Learning, lesson letter Q only. Kind of trying to exhaust half of the letters. But why subjective wisdom actually helps. One example already, because I only have 5 minutes for this, so I can still make this count. I did this anyways, but Richmond Lop, say what you will about him, good or bad, when he repeats the same messages over and over again, not so much the energetic frequency of things, when he teaches you lessons that he repeats over and over and over again, is that so bad? It's more of a not even learning kind of thing, not ROTE learning. It's not so much that. It's more like that you get these cycles where he does indeed plant the seeds in your head of what he's teaching, whether he's right or wrong with what he's teaching. He still gets to get that into a cycle. Whereas you know that in the spiral life, a spiral staircase of life, you go into the same part of your life over and over again, but you can still be a completely different person, if not more. And so that it doesn't mean you're going backwards or regressing on what you're learning or even achieving in your life. I knew it. Spice came in handy. It will in a moment. 3 minutes, 48 seconds. We can add this in the Spice video editor, and then we'll have a full 5-minute video for C.O.I.L. But keep in mind, if you don't have this in a complete set, this is indeed Class of Insightful Learning, letter lesson Q only, as the trend is going. As I just said in the last clip, in the same video, this thing should be. It's not so much you're regressing or going backwards in your progression in life. If you're going to the same parts of your life in the general, it still could mean you're learning something completely different. You could return to the same locations and even still learn different things in them. And that's not its own specific example, oddly enough. You may not want to die in the same location you were born in or grew up in. Maybe that could be its own specific example of trauma, but to each their own. The next 3 minutes. Why is subjective wisdom actually helpful? You would want to believe that there are people who learn certain wisdoms, that they have some other ways to apply lessons in their life, however they help, that don't have to actually know those lessons. Not everyone actually necessarily does on a generalistic level. I used to believe that generalization was a good thing, if even primarily. I knew it could be flawed. I didn't know it could be that flawed, right? I didn't know it was possible to bandwagon people into like this whole collection of things, which now sounds like I know what I'm talking about, obviously, but not having to be all-knowing even then. No one is. But the thing with the bandwagon generalization, pessimism and negativity of that, the downside weakness of that, is that when you collect everyone in the system to seemingly be objective in reality, you're not really doing that in the first place. So when you think of being reality is going to be flawed anyways, you're being so one-itis about being in reality where you don't even know what reality would have been in the first place. And that's its own connection anyways. You don't know what you're talking about if you make that your reality in itself. You never want to believe that kind of stuff. You might be desperate, but please don't do that. So for this lesson, why, again, one more time, why is subjective wisdom so helpful? It is coming down to, I made this reference before, the adamantium qualities of Wolverine, the invigorating principle from I can make the freaking blue for this. That's just one example of how that I approached subjective wisdom, was to be empowered and within drawing strength of what I felt was good for me. It doesn't have to mean I didn't face my reality or I didn't literally do things to survive. Or 1 minute 17 for this apparently last third final part of the Spice video editing for this C.O.I.L lesson Q. Wow, we actually need to make this count now, huh? Deleting every once in a while 3 videos. You saw the icon on my screen. I was running out of space, but yeah. Anyways, I'm Android Unihurst, but yeah, this is actually exactly why subjective wisdom is important and helpful. It's like, you see me edit these 3 clips together in Splice, and I'm like, okay, why don't I have a thumbnail for video? Which I won't anyway, sorry. But before I do the other 4 live streams plus, there's 4 by 3 live streams I'm going to do in a row. And one other short in particular, and some other videos following to that. Why is that important to mention? Why are those specific examples, oddly enough or not, why are they important? Because you can still make examples about things that are subjective. You really can. You don't have to be someone who's just like, oh, but obviously you can make examples of reality because it's already there. Hell no. Hell no. What you can observe, as I mentioned in actually old lesson for C.O.I.L, is that you actually can still, everyone is truly insightful. Everyone is truly able to comprehend what they have seen, even if they can't prove it to anyone else. For letter Q, as per P and O, keep that in mind. in itself. Thank you.